On my Instagram and Facebook stories today, I shared that during the new moon, I set intentions and start new projects. And I have a new project that I am starting, and you're seeing it. I'm going to give you guys more videos and connect with you more often. But I wanted to share why the moons and the biz and how this thing goes together. By the way, my Instagram, amanda.g.smith. Come find me, come check me out. This is where I'm posting a lot of my stuff. I'll be connecting with my Facebook on my Solace Lessons page. If you're connected with me already on Facebook, go like my Solace Lessons page. All right. So, with my business, I follow the moon cycles for setting goals and for reflecting on my goals, which means that every 14 days, I'm taking a look at my goals because the moon cycle is 28 days long, give or take. It's 29.8 or 29.3. Anyways, you get the picture. For me, this is simply a cycle, but there's, of course, the woo to it. And for those of you who know me, you know that I'm very logically based. I was an aerospace engineer for several years, and there's a lot of logic that goes behind that. But the woo is definitely coming out more and more. And for those of you who know me as the aerospace engineer who also teaches yoga, then you know where that woo is coming from. And that the woo-woo goes way back. But let's focus on this whole moon cycle thing and how I tie it into the biz. So 28-day cycle, new moon. This is when the earth is covering the moon between sun and moon. And the full moon is when the sun is beaming onto the moon and giving us a very bright, highlighted surface of the moon. The new moon and the full moon, from a scientific perspective, have effects on the earth. They actually have the same effect. So the gravitational pull relative to the sun, the moon, and earth is the same. High tides are really high, low tides are really low. Scientifically speaking, nature has to adapt to these cycles, especially things that live in water or things that live near water. And since 70% of the earth is made up of water, that means that the majority of the things that live on the earth or in the water are constantly affected. Okay. So I find that there's no coincidence that the female menstrual cycle is also 28 days long. But science, of course, says, bah, there's no connection. Okay. But those of us who pay attention to the moon cycle and our period know that there's definitely a coincidence. And it's really sweet when they align. So let's talk about the woo side of the moons, or the moon. The new moon is a blank canvas in the sky, and the full moon is a fully reflective moon. And from the woo side of things, the blank canvas is our opportunity to paint. And this is when we set intentions, start new projects, draw in more creativity. And the full moon is when we reflect on what has happened. And of course, it's all for you to decide how far back do you want to reflect during the full moon. Do you want to reflect over the last 14 days between the new moon and the full moon? Or do you want to take it back further, the beginning of the year, or your last launch relative to business? Whatever it is, it's totally up to you. And then, of course, when we're setting new intentions, this is how far into the future do I want to look? What is the intention that I'm setting, the duration that I want to set this for? So for me, my story with my new project is that I'm going to connect with you daily, however that is, on my Instagram, my Facebook, my email, uh, on my website, blog posting, all the content that I could possibly put together for my business. It's going to be daily. And I'm going to do this for 3 to 4 months. And for this 3 to 4 month cycle, I'm going to focus on one specific topic. And I asked you guys for your response within my Instagram story on which direction you want me to head. And really, it's the framework that I'm looking for. The stories are going to be the same. Do you want me to focus on the negative, or do you want me to focus on the positive? And so far, you guys want me to focus on the positive. Yeah. All right. Looking at this moon cycle and how it ties into the business, it just means as a good business owner, you're going to check in more often. Most people check in during tax time or at the end of the year or the beginning of the new year, or they're checking in after a launch because they've got tons of data coming in after a launch. This gives you more data points, and that's what I love. I'm a total geek for information and data. So checking in every 14 days, set new intention, set a new project, get more creative during this time of the new moon, and then reflect on it 14 days later during the full moon, just means that I have that much more information to go off of to see how my business and, well, the rest of my life is going, because I don't just do it for my business, I do it for everything. So this is your opportunity to experiment. I'm sharing this with you in hopes that maybe you can do a better job of reflecting on your goals, setting new goals, creating more often. Again, check me out on Instagram, amanda.g.smith, or find me on Facebook and like my Solace Lessons page so that you can see my stories. That's where I'm going to be posting a lot of these short videos.